Hello and welcome to another episode of The Voyage. Well, on today's show, we are preparing for the big one. 14 boats, over 100 people and covering 600 nautical miles. There is so much planning to be done, so let's get cracking. We're at Princess Yachts Australia's HQ at Sanctuary Cove for the first briefing session for the upcoming 2021 Hayman Island Rendezvous. Owners and skippers have gathered to learn about everything from boat preparation to the exciting schedule of stopover destinations. This will be a trip of epic proportions. The planning, meticulous by a Princess Yachts team very experienced in these type of excursions. The Princess fleet will depart in early spring, subject to favourable weather conditions, and make its way north, as Greg Haynes explains.
So the trip up the north coast really is what Princess Yachts are designed for. So long-range cruising, cruising in comfort, luxury, and then we end that with a whole event that's just about luxury. We call it family, friends, and the finer things. So we're going to head north from our headquarters at Sanctuary Cove. We're going to go up the inside of Hayman Island, stopping at some beautiful places like Lady Musgrave Lagoon. Then we have a really good experience for our owners at Hayman Island. It's at the end of the school holiday, so our guests can bring their family and friends. This is my backyard, and all the way up the north coast we've been boating for years, and some of our clients haven't experienced it before, so it's really about showing them what their boats can do. This really instills confidence in our owners. They get to know what their Princess Yachts are about. We have our full Princess team coming up. We've got our service manager, we've got our sales manager, we've got people that have got a lot of experience. So this is not just a holiday, it instills confidence in the owners. They get to talk to each other, they get to experience it with the Princess team, and hopefully down the track they can do it on their own.
Greg, Scott and Andy have countless hours of sea time between them and will lead the trip. Just another example of strong support from the Princess team, ensuring a safe and successful trip to Hayman. And whether it's this trip or you are heading away on an extended outing yourself, Scott has some tips on preparing for a trip of this nature.
Pretty excited. Our big trip is only a few days away from leaving, so whether you're coming on this trip or you're intending to do your own big trip down the track, I just want to talk today about a bit of preparation and getting your boat really ready for one of these long distance trips. So from about 3 months prior to departure, you should be thinking about anti-foul, engine service, generator service, equipment on the boat like water makers and anchor winches and so on, getting all that done. So with this maintenance list, if you've got a skipper or someone who maintains the boat for you, that's nice and easy because you can give them the list and away they go. But if you haven't and you're an owner and you have to organise it yourself, certainly our service team can do it all for you. So just let them know that in 3 months' time you're intending to go on a big trip and they'll organise everything for you. From the anti-foul, the engine service, the maintenance, the whole lot will all be done in time. Okay, so now we're about to leave on our trip. We want to talk about daily checks. So we're generally doing between 150 and 170 nautical miles a day. So everything's working hard. So we're going to go to the engine room. I'll show you some checks that we're going to do each morning. So once we're in the engine room, obviously we're going to check under the floor for any salt water, any water we don't expect in the engine room. We're going to check the generator oil. We're going to check our fuel filters and we're going to check our engine oils. One of the most important things is a daily check on our fuel. We must keep the fuel clean. So what we've got in most Princess boats is a dual fuel filter system. We're looking for any contamination or water in these filters here. And if we happen to get contamination in one side, we can easily change over and use the alternate filter so the engines don't play up. But basically every day we should be checking that first thing in the morning. So the next check is pretty basic, the same as your car. It's the old dipstick check. Check you've got oil, you're not burning oil, the oil's the right colour. Once again, only on long trips would you need to check that every day. But once again, we're running for 7, 8, 9 hours a day, so every morning you should be checking your oil levels. Okay, the last check is just a visual check. So lifting up the floor traps, have a look under the floor to make sure there's no salt water or water contamination or oil down there. Have a good eyeball around the engine room, smelling for any diesel smells or anything unusual. It's a 1 minute check and then all clear, away you go. Let's head to the front and I'll show you some things on the anchor. On these long trips, we want to retain the anchor winch with a little retaining clip. We never want the anchor winch to self-deploy in rough conditions or if banging around for 8 hours at a time, the clutch comes loose, the anchor's got to be retained. Just got to remember, when you do want to use your anchor, you've got to unclip the retainer. Okay, so there's some tips for blue water boating. At the end of the day, these boats are designed for exactly this reason. Out in the ocean, doing long trips, you're going to learn a bit about your boat, you're going to learn a bit about yourself. Get out and enjoy it, love it, and we'll see you at Hayman Island.
One bloke who has taken all of that in is Princess owner Ben Warner, who is eagerly looking forward to this year's trip.
Yeah, I jumped at it. I was really excited and I thought, yeah, it's just a fantastic opportunity and something we wanted to do. This is not something that I would embark on my own. I just love the lifestyle it creates, like the days that we have out on the water with the family and friends, you know, like it's a blast. It really is a lot of fun. So yeah, it's good family time.
Now, I do realise while watching this, you're probably experiencing a little bit of FOMO, and for all the cool kids out there, that's fear of missing out. But hey, you can join us. All you have to do is own your very own Princess yacht, and here is one that I think you will love, the magnificent Princess Y85. I think we can all agree that food is such a huge part of any onboard journey, particularly on a trip like this. So the key is to be prepared. Here's Greg.
So we're about to embark on a 6 or 7 day trip up the coast. We're just going to show you a few little tricks so your time on board's more enjoyable, you're not spending all the time in the galley. I've got Grant here from Artichoke.
Hi guys.
And Grant's going to help me with some lamb cutlets, which we've got here. We've got 16 in the bowl. We've got 4 on board our boat going north. Then Grant's going to show you, he can actually prepare it all for you, so it takes all this away. So as I said, I've got some lamb cutlets there. What we're going to do is first throw in some olive oil. And one of the reasons we put the olive oil in is when we vacuum pack it, it goes around the cutlets and preserves them. So Grant, how long will these cutlets vacuum packed for?
Vacuum packed usually for 7 days. There's a little theory called no oxygen, no bacteria. So it's the healthiest way to eat.
So a bit of pepper, a bit of sea salt. Now what I've made here is actually blitzed some garlic, some rosemary, some olive oil, and a little bit of soy sauce. So we're just going to put that in there.
Can I rub that for you, mate?
Sure, please. So what we're going to do now is Grant's going to put his fingers in there and get these cutlets all prepped. Then we're going to vacuum pack them. And in the vacuum pack bag, we're going to put some rosemary and some garlic. And they're going to last 7 or 8 days on board. So what I've got here is just an off-the-shelf machine from Sunbeam, readily available. And it comes with a roll and you can just seal it, stick the bag in, close it and hit the seal button. Wait a couple of seconds and the bag will be then ready to go. So now that I've made the bag and Grant's got all the cutlets prepped, what I like to do is put them in the bag by hand, not all in one lump, so that you're actually making them sit flat, which gives you a lot more room in your fridge. You'll also see when Grant shows you what he's prepared himself, it's all very flat, so either in the fridge or the freezer, it doesn't take up as much room. So nice and flat, we've got it ready to go into the Crovac machine, so that's our next step. So it's as simple as getting the top edge up to the groove, closing it, vac and seal. So I've been boating all my life and something as simple as a little vacuum pack machine, it just makes life so easy. It's really good for fresh prawns and seafood you might catch, but also preparing your food at home. I'm just going to put this in the fridge. So now I'm going to hand over to a real pro. This is Grant Madgwick from Artichoke Restaurant at Sanctuary Cove. He's going to show you the way he prepares it, and he's been doing it this way for a while. Makes life on the boat so easy.
How about sit down with a bottle of wine, truffle, ravioli with mud crab, spanish crab, oil, basil, garlic and chilli. Or why not tortellini with mud crab, sugo with Mount Tambourine goat's cheese. These can be done several ways. Simply open the bag and serve restaurant quality food on your boat. All you have to do is give us a phone call and Greg will look after you, I will look after you. All restaurant quality food pre-done and packed for you.
And a final word from someone who's been there and done it. Mel Stewart was on last year's Hayman Rendezvous and says it was an incredible experience.
Hey, look, we had a fantastic time last year and great bunch of people, really easy going. You know, it was great fun. Lots of good places to see, lots of interesting places to stop at. You know, I think you've got a better appreciation of what the boat is capable of, which is much more than you might think. But yeah, just the confidence that you can, you know what to do when you get to a marina, where to get fuel, how to get fuel. Yeah, it was terrific. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The 2021 Princess Yachts Hayman Island Rendezvous is going to be the biggest and best yet. So if you want any information on this year's trip, or of course the 2022 plans, then make sure you get in touch with Greg and his team at Princess Yachts Australia. Bye for now.